Hello, everyone, and welcome to our October training. You guys, we are rocking October. So I was looking at numbers right before we went live, and we, as a group, are on course to have the best October that we've ever had in our organization. Like,
that's awesome.
Seriously, like kicking butt. So I'm predicting best October ever. Kudos to you guys for like rocking it out for real. Like first day of the month, the numbers were like through the roof, like amazing. And then I just went back and looked, and in October, in September, you guys added 106 new consultants to our group. So we have 106 new members. So you guys are working. So I should start by introducing myself. I'm Casey Witt. I am the Superstar Director of the Blazing Supernovas, and I'm joined by some amazing leaders here tonight. We have Ms. Jimmy Batts. She is a Star Director and leader of Team Movers and Shakers. We have Jess Grody, leader of Team Odyssey, and Aaron Brown, leader of Team Hustle and Heart. I like to do that when I sing. So this month our group training, just for those of you guys who are new, before we get into it, we meet the first Wednesday of every month, and it'll be a format just like this, where you get to hear from multiple directors and above. You might not always be the same leaders, but you will always have more than one, and we will always be rocking with some good info. And so tonight, we're going to start with going back to basics. So if you're new, then this is a great training for you. If you've been around for a while and you're just looking to refresh, this is a great training for you. If you've been dawdling along in your business and you've been afraid to ask, what should I do? This is a great training for you. We got you covered. No matter who you are, we got you covered. So I'm going to start because I'm battling a voice and I want to give you guys all my voice while I have it. We're all going to cover one topic, right? So each of us is going to delve a little bit deep into a certain topic. And I'm going to start with the Mac Daddy of topics. I'm going to start with the one that hangs a lot of us up, the thing that stops us in our tracks, the thing that scares us the most, recruiting. So I'm saying that it stops most of us because if we look at the numbers through Scentsy, there are more essential and certified consultants than there are of any other level. And the thing that separates an essential and certified consultant from any other title or rank is the number of recruits that you have. So this is one of those things, like you sell thousands of dollars, but when it comes to asking someone to join your team, you tap the brakes. Like you just get really scared. And we're going to talk about that. I think I want to talk about what's scary and how if we just flip the switch just a little bit, it's going to look a lot different, right? So it's too scary, right? It's going to cost my friends money to join. What if I fail? What if they fail? What are they going to think when I ask them to join my team? So these are all the questions that go through our head, right? But what if I told you guys that right now, every day, you're already recruiting in the things that you do in your everyday life, and you just don't even realize it. So I'll start with a little story, and it's a story about me, Casey. But I think it's a story that so many of us can relate to. It's going to start with weight loss. And seriously, guys, like raise your hand if that's, that's ever affected you. So we'll start right there, right? So 70 years ago, I decided I was going to do Weight Watchers. So I looked up how much it cost. I looked at the locations. I looked at the times that they met, and I signed up. And then I said to myself, I think I'll do this better if I have somebody do it with me. So I reached out to lots and lots of friends, like messaged them, called them on the phone, and I said, look, I'm doing this Weight Watchers thing. Would you be interested in joining me? So 4 of them took me up on the offer, and they did it with me. And so, like, why would I ask somebody to join me to do it? Well, one, because I know it's more fun to have a partner in crime. I know that I'm going to be held more accountable if I have a partner. I know that I'm going to push myself to do better if I have a partner and someone depending on me. And I know that it's going to help them as well. This is going to be a mutually beneficial relationship in this journey, right? So I asked them to spend, it was like $90 to join. So it's like an initiation fee, and then you pay like a monthly fee or whatever. And I didn't know anything about Weight Watchers. When I asked them to join, I knew nothing. I took some notes because I wanted to make sure I got all this stuff. I didn't know anything about what exercises they were going to ask me to do. I didn't know about the diet. I didn't know if I'd lose weight. I didn't know if they'd lose weight. I didn't know if it'd be hard, but I still asked them to join because I knew that Weight Watchers had a support system in place, right? They were going to support us, and they were going to guide us, and they were going to give us everything we needed to be successful. And I didn't have control over whether I was going to be, they were going to be successful, because I didn't know if they were going to diet and exercise. Like, I couldn't promise them that they were going to lose weight. There was no guarantee that this is going to happen for them. But I knew that if we dieted and exercised and followed the plan, the steps that had been laid out ahead of us, the steps that had worked for so many people in front of us, that we would have been successful. We knew that we could do it if we just followed the rules. So I recruited my 4 girlfriends. We all had great success. It was a great story, right? But I want you to take that little story and switch it to our business, right? So I feel like Aaron, Jamie, and Jess were like shaking their head, like nodding their head the whole way along. It's the same exact scenario, right? Like, you don't know. When you ask somebody to join your team, you don't know. Shoot, they might lose 1 pound. They might sell $1, right? It's the same thing. It's the same exact scenario. But you don't have any problem asking your friends to do things like that with you. So what's the difference between Scentsy and that? I don't think there's really much, right? What do you guys think?
No, and I even was thinking, like, you know, all those like famous superstars or whatever that are like, I lost 800 million pounds on Weight Watchers, and look at, I can, like, you know, fit 5 people in my pants or whatever. Those people, like, those are like the superstar directors. Like, those are the people that did it and made it work and got to the top. Do you know what I mean? And so it literally is the exact same thing, and it's a struggle, and our business can be difficult at times, but when you push through and you keep pushing it and you keep working it and you're consistent with it, just like diet and exercise, you're going to see results. It's the same exact thing in your business. I love that little analogy.
Yeah. So I can't promise you that your next recruit is going to be super successful. Heck, I can't even promise you that you are going to be successful, because I don't have control over what you do. You have control over what you do. You have control of how many people you talk to. You have control of how hard you push your business. You have control over how much time you put into it. So I can't promise you that you are going to be successful. I can't promise you that your next recruit is going to be successful. But what I can do is promise you that if you follow the mottos that both Jamie and Aaron have in their team names. So if you're a mover and a shaker and you're doing all the hustle with all your heart, you're going to be successful in this business. Like, there's no doubt about it, right? So,
oh, I got it. If you're a mover and a shaker and you work with hustle and heart, you will be on an odyssey.
There you go. Boom. So the other thing that I think holds a lot of people up with recruiting is worrying about losing customers, right? So if a lot of times your best recruits are going to be your best customers. So the fear is that you're going to lose all these customers. But I'm going to tell you another story about Casey, because I really like her. She's great. So when I first started, there was this gal, and she threw probably 4 basket parties. And at the end of each one, I could tell that she brought me new customers every single time. Like, there were a couple of duplicates in these basket parties. And I knew that if I continued to give her basket parties and she continued to do them for me, she was going to keep bringing me customers, bringing me customers, bringing me customers. But at the end of every single basket party, I offered her the party because I knew that she would be a great consultant. I knew that this business had a lot to offer her, and I knew that it would be mutually beneficial if she joined my team. Yes, I would be giving up customers, but there was so much potential for what could be gained. So after the 4th basket party, she finally joined. And our stories on her joining vary a little bit. She says I forced her and I just showed up at her house and made her sign up. But I really think we had plans and she agreed to it. So I guess we'll never know, right? But so she joined. She's a director now. She has a huge leg underneath of her. She's very, very successful. And she's here with us some Mondays. It's Brandy Supik. She's a director for Team Flame Free Chickadees. So I lost a lot of customers, but when she joined, she brought in so many more customers, plus a boatload of new recruits and an amazing Scentsy team. And I can tell you it was so worth it for me to give up those customers. Like, really, guys, like, recruiting's where it's at because you're just going to grow and grow and grow and grow. It's exponential, right?
Yep.
So, I'm way over my time. I had like 4 minutes and it's 12 minutes in. So let's talk real quick about what your focus should be going out of here and what I hope that you guys can gain from this training. I want you to realize that you are a recruiter. This is something you do every single day. You've ever asked a friend to go to the movies? You're asking them to invest their time, their money, and you're asking them to take a risk on buying a movie ticket because the movies are freaking expensive now, right? It's like
Totally.
$1 million, I think, for a ticket. So you're recruiting right there. The same thing you're doing when you're asking someone to buy a movie ticket is the same thing that you're doing when you're asking them to join your team. So just realize that you are a recruiter. You have what it takes to do this. You do not have to know it all. You have plenty of people here to support you. Even if you don't talk to any of your upline, Scentsy website, the Scentsy workstation, the training center has everything anyone needs to be successful in this business. You don't have to know it all, and neither do they to get started. So I would just implore you to just really, really consider just changing your focus and just saying, I am a recruiter. I can do this. I don't need to know it all, but what I do know is that I am a part of a company that offers amazing potential. This company has potential. I have potential. I have a lot to offer someone, and you shouldn't keep it to yourself. And that's my Scentsy spiel about recruiting. So let's talk about where do you find recruits, right? So for me, my favorite place to find recruits is at parties. Parties are where it's at. If you can get your foot in the door and get surrounded by a bunch of gals and you can share your story or share the stories of others if you're brand new to this business, you're going to make a huge impact. And Erin's going to talk about getting started immediately with your party and how that works for you and how that's going to help you in your business.
Okay, guys, that was a great segue, Casey. So I'm going to pull up my notes too. So there are a couple different kinds of parties. You heard Casey mention the basket party, and then Facebook parties if you're on Facebook, and then home parties. And parties are really like the meat and potatoes of this business, I think. So if you're just getting started, I think it's great to kind of use all 3 parties as a way to launch your business. If you're finding yourself in a rut, it's great to use all 3 parties as a way to get yourself out of that rut and to get yourself back into the momentum, because once you start doing parties, you're going to find yourself in front of people. So I'm sorry, guys. I'm going to move because there's some background noise.
That's okay.
Sorry. So home parties. Let's talk about home parties first. When you start your business, I'm sorry, guys. When you start your business, having your first home party should be your party, right? So what you want to do is get yourself in front of your friends and family. Invite them over. It's a party, so make it fun. Have snacks, have music, make it fun, and also make it about Scentsy. And once you, like Casey said, once you get yourself in front of people, people are going to see that it's fun. You can use that as a way to recruit. You can use that as a way to book more parties. And then, so you have your home party. So you should, once you sign up, if you're just signing up, schedule your launch party within your first 15 days, probably almost your first 10. That way you have time to get everything entered and you can work on that shooting star award. In the meantime, though, you have that like 10 days where you're not doing anything, but there's so much more you can be doing. You can do an online party. And so what we call that is like a soft launch. So you can create an event. You can even just post that on your personal page with a link to your website, letting people know that you're starting your business and that you're hosting an online party, and they can do all the ordering online or they can send the orders to you. And that's a completely free way for you to market your business and make it a party without actually having a party. So I know when I first started, I was petrified of home parties. I swore I would never do a home party. And here I am now. I'm like, how could I get more home parties? But I was petrified of home parties. And so I did all my first orders with everything was online, and I was very successful for a while. And then I found out you could be more successful with home parties. So I started doing those. But I think online parties are a great way to get started. And then when your starter kit comes to you, or you know, if you're in a little bit of a rut, you can always take some of your testers on the go. And I think one of the big things in this business is if you can let someone smell it, they're going to buy it, because if they smell Scentsy, they're going to fall in love with it. So you can take a couple of catalogs and a couple of order forms, and even just like 10 testers with you. Even if you don't have the little ones, you can take the big ones and call that a basket party. You can take it with you when you go on play dates, or when you pick your kids up from school, or when you're at soccer. So be the host of your first party, and then hopefully you'll be able to ask other people to then take that little bag and call it a basket party and go out and collect orders for you. So the goal is to get other people to do the work for you, then they earn the rewards. But it's great to be your own first host and to get yourself out in front of your friends and family that way. So I think that's all I've got, guys. Sorry, I'm a little nervous.
That was great. That was great.
Very, very good.
Thanks.
I think that Erin said it best when she said, if they smell it, you will sell it. Like, that is the meat and potatoes of getting Scentsy out there. And so, Jim, do you want to talk about just the selling bit of Scentsy?
Sure. So,
yeah.
So
how to use your host rewards after you're selling it to use to your benefit.
Absolutely. So at your home parties, or with your basket parties or Facebook parties, you know that there are built-in hostess rewards that the company offers, right? So when you are doing your launch party, you are the hostess of your party. So you're going to get those hostess rewards for yourself. Now, keep in mind that there is the host credit, and then there is the half-off items, which will increase as your sales or your host base increase for that party. But there's also what I call the secret half-off item, or the perpetual party reward. That item is up in the upper right corner of your party workstation, and there's lots of trainings on how to enter those, but don't forget about that secret half-off item. You can use that as a booking bonus, as an incentive. You can use that as a hostess gift. You can use it as an extra gift to yourself as you're starting to build your inventory and stock up on your own personal Scentsy stuff that you want. Because let's face it, a lot of us joined because we like the product and want it at a discount for ourselves. So don't forget about that perpetual party reward for sure. So the hostess rewards are a great opportunity for you to spoil people. Don't feel like you need to promise free warmers and free six-packs and free bars to anybody who orders or purchases from you. The hostess rewards that we have are generous, more generous than pretty much any other company out there that I can think of off the top of my head. So, so stick with those, and those will take you far for sure. Now, when it comes to once you have the orders and you put everything in, you get the orders delivered to you, you're going to want to provide really good customer service to those people who did order from you. So you're going to want to package those orders up nicely. Scentsy typically provides bags. They don't always provide bags, but 9 times out of 10 they'll provide bags in your order for you. Or if they don't, you can just buy cheap bags from like Target or Walmart, or use those reusable kind of 99-cent bags. Those look really cute too. A nice little bow. I always put samples, my business card in there, and any other flyers, maybe the warmer of the month or a product sheet, any type of kind of marketing materials that you have, I try to put into the customer order, because you want them to feel like they're opening a present when they get it, right? Anybody can go to any store and get products put in a bag, but when they come to you as their Scentsy consultant, they're not only getting amazing products in a bag, they're getting this extra touch of customer service, which is going to make them remember you, which is why they're going to come back to you, right? Speaking of customer service, it doesn't end at that. You need to be following up with the people after you deliver them an order, right? So after you drop the orders off to the hostess, or you drop the orders off at the people's houses, or sometimes people can come to you and pick them up, you know, depending on your level of friendship with these customers, you're going to want to follow up with them in a few days. Hey, did you have a chance to plug in your warmer? Do you understand how it works? Were there any issues? Right? Hey, did you have a chance to try out your scent? Which one's your favorite? Right? Just customer service. Do you like everything? Are you happy with everything? Type of discussions. You're not going to call them after 3 days and be like, hey, so do you want to host your own party so you can get it for free now? You know, I mean, there might be a few friends that you're comfortable saying that to, but for the most part, you should be sticking to customer service related calls, text, Facebook messages, right? And Facebook even has that awesome voice message option now in the Facebook Messenger, which will just allow you to speak your message, and then it will pop up as a nice little voice message for them in their Messenger app. A lot of people are loving that because it's very personal, and they can really hear the tone of your voice when you're speaking to them. So I suggest doing that, or even a video message. That could be cool too. As you are following up with them, you need to have some type of system or plan of attack for keeping track of all of these order forms that you're accumulating, right? Because one rule of thumb that I think is super important for everybody is that you must have order forms for every single order that you collect. So I know that I've been in this business for almost 4 years, and I get text messages of orders and Facebook messages of orders, and some people will just comment on my Facebook post, oh yeah, get me a 6-pack of that. And so it's difficult to keep track. But I keep an order form for every single person. Number one, we're required to. And number two, it helps keep me organized so I know who's ordering what. And how I do that is I use page protectors, just in case you're super familiar with this. I put all the orders of a particular party together in page protectors. So this, you'll see, I actually just used a Sharpie at the top, and I wrote like the name of the hostess and the date up there. And then all of the order forms for that party are right in here. And then I keep them all in a binder. And that way, as I'm following up and keeping notes, I can write notes on this page protector as to who it is and when I contacted them or anything like that associated with that party order. I can keep it right here. And so that just helps keep me on the ball and keep my customers organized, because you'll do your launch party and you'll get customers, and then you'll probably have a friend or two host parties, and then you'll get new customers, and you really just need to keep them organized. And I found the page protectors really help me with that. So that was my little bullet point list of items. I didn't want to talk too long about it, but all of these topics are so in-depth, and we could really do a training on each one of these things in depth, but we really just wanted to give you kind of a scratching of the surface of all of the basics. So I'll turn it back to Casey.
So we've talked about using our host rewards and selling to people and collecting orders that way. We've talked about hosting parties and the types of parties, and we talked about recruiting. So the thing that is left, there's four chords, and one of them is to take care of yourself. And we're just going to assume that you guys are taking care of that. And I already told you about Weight Watchers, right? So you need some self-care. You just look at Weight Watchers. But the thing that's not included in the Scentsy 4 chords, but we feel is super important in your business, is marketing. And how do you market yourself and what you should be doing. So Jess is going to tell us a little bit about some great marketing techniques and practices that will help you to be successful.
Yes, and I promise I won't take too long. So one of the huge things that I found right off the bat as soon as I started was you want to make sure that you are letting everybody know, like shout it from the rooftops, that you're a Scentsy consultant. So one of the very first things you want to do is make that Facebook post, send out an email, do a mass text message and say, hey guys, I just wanted to let you know, I'm so excited. I'm now a Scentsy consultant. So if you're already using Scentsy and you don't have a consultant, I'd love to be your new one. And if you haven't used Scentsy, I'd love to get it under your nose. Let's chat about it over coffee, or, you know, find a way to meet some of those, you know, people that you haven't been connected with in a long time, because they may be your first customers and your first host. But you always want to let everybody know how excited you are that you have this new business and this new journey in your life. Another really huge thing that I have found very, very helpful is how you market your business. And we know for the majority, most of our Facebook team pages have a lot of images and different flyers that we post, but there's also groups that you'll probably get led into in one way or the other that also they have, you know, groups of consultants that make these really awesome flyers that we can use to market our business. With those flyers though, and as you get into the business longer, you'll make friends with other consultants and you kind of network with each other. We all help each other out. But say, for instance, I'm sitting on Facebook and I see Jamie post this really awesome flyer, and she's got this really catchy, like, you know, oh my God, guys, check out next month's Warmer of the Month, or this and that, this and that. You know, yes, I love the way that she worded it, but I want to make it my own. Because what if we have mutual friends who sees, you know, the same thing coming from two different consultants? It doesn't look very original. And the whole point of doing this and is being you and being yourself, being true to yourself and being really authentic. And I think that over anything else is really going to sell you as a person. You're going to basically brand yourself if you market yourself as an individual and not something that's been copied and pasted, you know, for over a year that you found on a Facebook group. So one of the big things is when you find things that you really, really love, it's okay to use the idea or the theory behind it, but just reword it into your own words. You know, if you're not one of those people that are like, woohoo and yay and super exclamation points, don't post something like that on your Facebook page. Make sure it's in your words, the way that you usually type and the way that you usually speak on Facebook or on social media, so that the people, your audience, sees that's really true to you. Another really big thing that I found right off the bat that's really kind of not necessarily super important, but nice to have in your back pocket is good branding material. So one things I always direct my newbies to is go right into Scentsy Family Store and check out some of the really awesome branding materials that are available to you right through your workstation. One of the big things is business cards. Those are one of those things that you want to have in your hands ASAP within the first week or two of your business. And the big reason for that is when you're out and about, because you don't have a decal in your car, you don't have a Scentsy shirt, or you don't have a bag or any of that type of thing, you'll have your business cards. And you can still strike up those conversations with people in public, or when you meet up for friends for lunch dates or play dates, you can give out those business cards. You can leave a couple of them sitting in the doctor's office. You can go to the grocery store and leave some of them on the cash register. Always have something like that where you have your contact information and a way to collect other people's information during those conversations. Something as simple as a notebook and a pen. It doesn't have to be anything super fancy starting out. I'm pretty sure that I frequented the dollar store my first month. There you go. Or drawing slips, and they're also in the family store. But just, you know, while you're waiting for those things to come in, even going out and buying Avery labels and printing your information on them and slapping them on a printed image of some Scentsy stuff. You know, something really out of the box to get your name on the information while you're waiting for, you know, your business cards, your drawing slips, things of that nature to come in, just so that you can give them and put them in somebody's hands and then in turn get their information for follow-up. Another thing that I found to be very helpful is branding yourself in public. Scentsy Family Store, again, is another really, and you know, there's Casey wearing her hat, a really great place to find authentic and compliant Scentsy branded fashionable statement pieces, which really do strike up conversations in public. Just the other day, I wore one of my awesome Scentsy sweatshirts to a store buying some kids' clothes, and the cashier was like, "Oh my gosh, you're a Scentsy consultant?" And she was like, "I'm thinking about joining," and she didn't have a consultant, so I managed to, you know, get her information right then and there, all because I was wearing a hoodie. I didn't even have to say anything. it started the conversation on itself. That's really good for those of you who are like really shy and nervous in social settings like me. I don't always like to be the first one to start up a conversation. So I basically let my clothing and my branding do the work for me. So that's basically it. It's when you first join, while you're preparing your launch party and you're waiting for your starter kit, be loud and proud. Post on your social media that you're now a Scentsy consultant. Let all your friends and family know. And in the meantime, you can invite them into your launch party if you already have a date set for that. And then while you're out and about, use your branding. Use your branding to get yourself out there and to start those conversations without working too hard, and be genuine when you're doing your advertising and your marketing on Facebook. Be yourself and don't try to compare your business to somebody else's.
Awesome. So I just want to say, and one of the things that I skipped over in my little notes is that there's no magic bean that's going to make you successful in this business. There's not one. Nope, not one bean. But if you're a bean counter, you will be successful. It's all about numbers. You are only going to sell, recruit, or have less than 10% of the people that you talk to join, host, or buy from you. So you have to be talking nonstop, Scentsy, not nonstop. That's probably a little extreme. But I mean, I'm saying if you wanna, you could. So as many conversations as you can in a day. One of the gals on our team, Linda, she's like a super great numbers lady. She came up with 13 touches per day. You talk to, mail, or message 13 people a day, then you're destined for greatness. So I'm not a numbers girl, but Wendy came up with that, and I'm going to go with it. I think it's great.
I love how it's like a perfectly odd number too.
Exactly. No, like seriously, she went through and she she's a real estate agent, so she went through and she evaluated all this data, and it was great, super great information, I thought, to have. So it's a great place to start with 13 a day, and then go from there, see where that gets you. And I had a couple of takeaways. Did you guys have any takeaways that you wanted to make sure that people thought about before I talk some more?
I really just loved your weight loss analogy. I thought that was awesome, and it's so true, because it's all about dedicating yourself and committing. And people that have great bodies have it because they work hard at it, and people that have good businesses have it because they work hard at it. So
yeah, I agree. So I have a whole notepad here because I'm a nugget taker, and I just want to say that every single time I hang out with these gals, I learn something. So anytime that any of you guys get a chance to listen to a Scentsy leader speak, especially these guys, listen. There's a lot to learn from the people around you. So that's not on my note paper though. So here's what I have on my note paper. Stay true to you. You're marketing you, not just this product. So be original. Be yourself. The people around you, the people who are your friends on Facebook, they like you because you're you. And they're going to be drawn to you because you're you. And the product is just extra. If they smell it, you'll sell it. I love that saying. I just think it's the cutest thing ever. Customer service doesn't stop at the delivering of the product. It's all about follow-up. You continue to help your customers by following up. And I know a lot of people get hung up in thinking that they're bothering people, but I can tell you, just this week, my girlfriend said, I can't believe you posted on Facebook that you were looking for a 31 consultant. You recommended 31 consultant to me. And I said, yeah, but I forgot her name. She hasn't been in touch with me in like 3 years. If she would have followed up, she would have been my girl. I really liked her. I just couldn't remember her name. So just follow up. It doesn't end at your customer service doesn't end at delivery. Make sure you're following up. And I just want to close with reminding you that you are a recruiter already. It's just a matter of applying the skills that you use every day to get people to do things with you to your Scentsy business. So, anybody want to add anything before we go? I feel like I talked a lot.
I want to add one thing that kind of goes in line with your not being afraid to put yourself down. You're a good recruiter. It's in there kind of waiting to be coming out. It's the go for no concept. So one of the big things that we all kind of encounter when we're first starting off is that fear of rejection. What if they say no? So what if they say no? How many times have you been told no about something else non-related to Scentsy? We get it every day in different forms and different ways. And then when we do get those yeses, they're special, they're sacred. You know, we want to cuddle them. Same thing with your recruiting and sharing the opportunity with other people. You're usually going to, like, every, what do they say, 10 people that you ask, you're going to get 10 no's, and then you're going to get that one yes. So don't expect every conversation you have to be a yes, yes, yes. There's going to be so many no's in there, but don't take it personal. It's just part of the curve. So just, I always kind of go into a conversation when I bring up the opportunity, I go for the no. I expect it, and I usually get caught off guard when I get a yes. And that's when I kind of take it and I put it under my wing and I keep it all warm and cozy. And that's when I kind of nurture that yes. Because I was literally waiting for the no, but it's a confident no. So just have the confidence. Don't be afraid of hearing the no word. And you know, when you start to get that little, you know, even the littlest bit of interest, or that raise of the eyebrow, or that tip of the ear, remember that, because it may not even be your first attempt. You may have to talk to somebody for over a year before they finally jump that fence.
For basket parties.
Yeah. So
yeah.
Don't be afraid. Have a lot of confidence in yourself, and just do it.
Just do it. I think that sums it right up, right? Don't you guys think that's it? Just do it.
We can't take that slogan. That's already trademarked.
All right, guys.
We'll just do that.
That's right. We'll be back here next month, the first Wednesday of the month, and we will have a whole new topic. If you guys have any topics that you want to have covered, then let us know, and we will do our best to get it in there. So have a great October. Let's rock it out. Let's see if we can beat 106 new members like over September. I think we can do it. I think so. You guys are awesome.
Totally.
And I am so excited for what's to come for all of us in this business. Sweet dreams, y'all. Good night.